Well, hello and welcome to Super Great Kids Stories. Wise tales from storytellers around the world, which will make you laugh and sometimes cry. Recommended for ages 5 to 105. I'm Kim and I love stories. Hello, Super Great Kids, and how are you? I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. Recently in the UK, we've had a bit of wind, a bit of sunshine and a bit of rain. Do you remember that rhyme I mentioned back in April? March wind and April showers bring forth May flowers. Well, now it's May and we've got the flowers. Hooray! In the little garden bed in front of my story shed, there are hundreds of little flowers unfurling and they're attracting lots of butterflies and buzzy-wuzzy bees. In the story this week, there are lots of flowers. What do flowers need to make them grow? Do you know? Yes, they need water and soil and sunshine. The wonderful storyteller Seth Townsend has come today to tell us a story from China called The Cracked Pot. Before we begin the story, I wonder if you can think of the names of any flowers. Now there's a challenge. How many flowers can you think of? Go on, have a go while we have a quick word with the grown-ups. Would you like to hear some Super Great Kids stories live at a storytelling festival in the UK's beautiful Lake District? Stealing Thunder is a fabulous family festival where you can meet some of the best storytellers in Britain. You'll hear Hugh Lupton, Ben Haggerty, Emily and Nick Hennessy, to name but a few. With medieval puppet shows and story walks and Kayleys and fairy tales for grown-ups and myths for kids, it's going to be a weekend full of wonder. It's a small green site in the beautiful Lake District village of Bowland Bridge. Come to the story marquee and join Kim and Toop and listen to some of your favourite Super Great Kids stories. Hurrah! It's on the weekend of June the 2nd till the 4th. We'd love to meet you, so get your tickets now. Go to stealingthunder.co.uk/festival-2023. Snip, snap, snout. That advert is out. Hello, Super Great Kids. I'm back. How many flowers did you think of? Well, there's daffodils and roses and irises and snowdrops and bluebells and roses and pansies and hyacinths and tulips and marigolds and cornflowers and, well, the list goes on and on. And, of course, depending which country you're in, the flowers you remember might be different. If you ever get stuck in the lift, you could entertain people with stories and then you could play a game of who can think of the most flowers. Why don't you try it with your grown-ups later and see how many flowers they've got in their heads? But now, let's give a warm welcome to storyteller Seth Townsend. Are you sitting comfortably? Am I sitting comfortably? Then let the story begin.
Hello, Super Great Kids. This is Seth, and today I have a story for you which comes from China. But do you know how to say hello in Chinese? Well, it's one of the Chinese languages because in China there are many different languages. But the main language is Putonghua. And in that language, sometimes called Mandarin, to say hello, you say Ni hao. I'll say it again. Ni hao. And if you want to say how are you, it's very like that. It's Ni hao ma. Ni hao ma. Did you hear? It almost sounds like singing. Because unless you sing the words in Mandarin, people don't understand. So I'm going to do it again. Ni hao. Hello. Ni hao ma. And here we go with our story, which comes from a place where they speak a different language, and that language is Fujianhua. And I'm going to start with a song. I'll sing it in Fujianhua, and I'll sing it in English, and here it goes. 遥遥小船到福建湾，现在我们要出去。遥遥小船到福建湾，我们一定会下无求。Row, row the boat to Hokkien Bay. Now is the time to get away. Row, row the boat to Hokkien Bay. Surely we'll get there by midday. And all the boats were going down the river, and they were taking tea. And they were going down the river, the small boats, until they came to the harbour where they were going to put that tea onto a big ship, which was going to bring it maybe to your country, if you like drinking tea. But the old woman who was on the banks of the river, she wasn't going down in a boat. She was walking down to the river to get some water. Every day she went to the river to get water, and she had 2 big clay pots hung on a string right around her neck, so that on one side there was a clay pot on her right-hand side, and on the other side, hanging from her neck on the left side, was another clay pot. And every day she went down to the river and she filled those pots, and as she was walking back, those pots were heavy, and she brought them home, and she used that water for everything that you use water for. Washing her clothes, washing her face, washing the dishes, doing a little bit of cleaning, cooking her rice. All these things need water. Well, both pots were in the kitchen when the lady went to bed. One of the pots said to the other pot, "You're no good. You're no good because you've got a crack. And when you arrive home, half of your water is spilled away. It drips away, and so you're only half full when you get home. But look at me. I'm full of water, and I never spill any. She should throw you away. She should smash you." "Yes, I know. I'm only ever half full by the time I get home." "That's right. You're no good." Now, when the lady woke up next morning, she came down to the kitchen, and she took one look at the pot with the crack, and she said, "Whatever is wrong?" And the cracked pot said, "You should throw me away. I'm no good. I spill half of my water by the time you've walked home with me." And she said, "You just come with me." And she took that cracked pot down to the river. And she said, "As we go down to the river, I want you to look out and tell me what you see." So she walked down to the river with that one cracked pot. And when she got down to the river, she said, "What did you see?" "Oh, nothing. Some stones, some sand, a bit of scrubby dirt." "Exactly. Now I'm going to fill you up." So she filled up the cracked pot, and she walked all the way up a hill from the river back to her home. And as she walked up that hill, the cracked pot was looking. And now, as she walked up the hill, he was on the other side of the path from the way in which he came down. That was always the way she carried him. And things were very different. And when she got home, the old woman, she said, "Now tell me what you saw." "What did I see? I saw beautiful flowers, red flowers, yellow flowers, pink flowers, purple flowers, all sorts of coloured flowers. Exactly, said the lady. And do you know why that is? It's because of you. You see, I planted seeds along that way, and as you walk back with me, you just drip exactly the right amount of water so that the flowers don't get too much water and so that the flowers don't get too little water. And without you, there would be no flowers. Without you, I wouldn't have all that beauty in my life. Yes, that other part. He's young. He doesn't know anything about how to get on with people. But don't you listen to him, because you are very special. And don't let anyone tell you that you're not, because everyone in the world has something special to give. And that is what you give to me. Row, row the boat to Hokkien Bay. Now is the time to get away. Row, row the boat to Hokkien Bay. Surely we'll get there by midday.
Oh, thank you, Seth. What a beautiful story, and a lovely song. Nice that the old woman could encourage the cracked pot. It's good to be reminded that we don't have to be perfect, isn't it? Just as well. That would be a good story to tell for yourself. Not too tricky. Have you ever tried to grow anything? Carrots are quite easy, and squash or zucchini are good. Cress is really easy to grow in an eggshell. And, of course, sunflowers. And wildflowers like poppies, they're lovely to watch springing up. Happy growing. Now it's time to have a dig into my bag of happies and say a big thank you to some owlets who've been hopping into our nest and supporting our podcast. Thanks to Sham Sham, who is 5, and Rory, who is 7, from London in the UK, who came to our show and said hello. It was lovely to meet you both. And to 6-year-old owlet Archie, who lives in a village outside Valencia in Spain. Archie listens to the stories when he goes on adventures with his family in their camper van. His favourite story is The Ghost of the Bloody Finger. Ha, Archie, right now I'm in my camper van in Italy, a country not too far from Spain. Happy travels and happy story listening. And and hello to new owlets, Guinevere, who is 11, Kaya, who is 10, Isabel, who is 7, and Piper, who is 3, from Eagle Mountain in Utah in the US. They all just love the story Tianjie and the Yellow Dress, and they often retell it to their friends and family. Hooray! And now, lots of you sent pictures of our stories, which we've posted on our Facebook page this week. We're receiving lots of lovely pictures and we enjoy seeing them all. Here's our pick of the week. Thanks to Anna, who is 7, from Ireland, for your picture of the Ghost of the Bloody Finger. I love the fact, Anna, that you've drawn a TV in that picture. I like that ghosts like watching TV too. Thank you. And thanks to 4-year-old Keitaro from Raleigh in North Carolina in the US, who listens every afternoon and has drawn an energetic picture of the story The 4 Dragons from China. Keitaro has drawn the long dragon with the green rain and the jade emperor. Thank you very much for your lovely picture. And thanks to Isa, or is it Isa, who is 6, who's also drawn a picture of the 4 Dragons story. It's such an elaborate, detailed, long drawing of the dragons. I wonder if you've listened to May's scary story about the man-eating dragon, the Nucker. Just lovely, thank you very much. That's it for this week. If you'd like to see these drawings, they're all on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Super Great Kids Stories. Do send in your pictures for us to share on Facebook with other story lovers. If you'd like to send a picture, either attach it to our Facebook Messenger or scroll to the bottom of our website at supergreatkidsstories.com. And remember, if you'd like to come along and listen to Toop and I telling stories live, come to the Stealing Thunder Storytelling Festival near Kendal in the Lake District in the UK for the first weekend in June. That's about a week away. There will be myths for kids and fairy tales for grown-ups and lots of music and some of the best storytellers in the UK. See you there. In the meantime, just keep telling your stories and singing your songs. See you soon. This story was recorded at Wardour Studios in London.